Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Emily and today we have part 2 of my series. So for this one I am going to go over my series TBR. Now in reality there are like somewhere between 20 and 25 series that I haven't started yet but would like to at some point in the near-ish future. But that would be a really long video, so today we're just going to go over my top 5 series that I want to start, but I will put up a blog post as well to go along with this video of some of the other series that I'm really hoping to read because I can't help myself and I wanted to talk about more, but I ramble. So without any further ado, let's get into my top 5 series TBR. Coming in at number 5 is the Outlander series by Diana Gabaldon. This is the story of our main character, Claire Randall, who was a combat nurse during World War II. After the war, she is on a second honeymoon with her husband when all of a sudden she finds herself transported back to 1743. Obviously, she is kind of thrown for a loop and she's in this completely new environment, new society. Here, she meets James Fraser and she falls in love and is quickly caught between her husband and James, fidelity and desire, and these two completely different lives, worlds, and men. So this is like part fantasy, part historical fiction, part romance, and those are all genres that I really enjoy. So this has been on my TBR for a very, very long time. I've almost purchased the book several times, but when you see it in person, it's big. It's like 850 pages, just book 1. And currently there are 8 books in the series with a 9th one on the way. So this is like a really huge commitment. Like, it'd be one thing if the first book was a reasonable length. I'd be way more likely to just pick it up and start going, but 850 pages is a lot and they're all big, and so it's really intimidating. So I'm excited for this one and I just gotta bite the bullet and do it. Next up we have The Mysterious Benedict Society by Trenton Stewart. This book starts with a question. Are you a gifted child looking for special opportunities? When dozens of children answer this newspaper ad, they find themselves having signed up for a series of mysterious and difficult and totally out of this world tests in order to narrow them down to the top 4 candidates. The 4 children that end up at the top are going to go on a secret mission that only the most intelligent and resourceful children can complete. Now this book sounds like one that I would have absolutely adored when I was a child, when I was a little bit younger, so I'm super sad that I didn't find this sooner, but I've heard great things about this. My favorite blogger really loves it, Emma Reads Too Much. I take her opinion very seriously. But also I picked this up when I was at a local bookstore for Independent Bookstore Day, and they had this great thing going on that day where back in the YA middle grade children's section, all throughout the day for like hour chunks they had a kid standing there recommending books. So there was a sign that said ask a kid, and when I was there was a like 10 or 11-year-old kid standing, and I had a couple books already in my hands, and I went up to him and was like, are there any books that you're really hoping to recommend to someone today? He's like, actually the one you're holding, Mysterious Benedict Society, is so good and I really love it, and I know it's really long but it's so worth it. And I think the coolest thing about this is that you take the quizzes and tests and whatever alongside the children, so you can see if you are smart enough to be the top 4. It's a 5-book series that just seems really whimsical and fun and a little bit different. I feel like it's got a bit of a series of unfortunate events vibe, but then also like choose your own adventure. I don't know. It seems super fun. Can't wait to read this. And series number 3, The Young Elites by Marie Lu. This takes place in a world where a plague has wiped out a whole host of people. A pretty significant portion of the population was infected and the vast majority of them died. There were some children who survived this plague and they are now known as Malfetto. They have distinguishing features. Our main character is Malfetto and she has pale eyelashes. She has something to do with her hair is like partially gray or something. She also lost an eye when she had the plague, and so that marks her as well. A certain subset of the Malfetto have like supernatural powers, and they are known as the Young Elites. There are 2 characters in this story who are on the hunt for these Malfetto who possess supernatural powers. One so that he can destroy them before they destroy the world and I imagine take over rule and governance, and the other is searching for them so that he can add them to the ranks of the Young Elites. Our main character Adelina is found by the latter, and it turns out she has these supernatural powers, but they are completely beyond what anyone else has seen, what anyone else can do. I haven't read a good like dystopian sci-fi fantasy book in a while. Definitely in the mood for a good series that I can sort of binge, and this seems like a good one because it is YA, so I imagine it's a little bit easier to get through pretty quick. I actually have read the first chapter. It was a lot. It was intense from the very beginning, and yeah, I know, I can tell it's going to be good. Alright, number 2 is the Mistborn Trilogy by Brandon Sanderson. This takes place in a world that is a complete wasteland covered in ash and mist. 1,000 years ago, the immortal ruler took over, and every revolt to dethrone him and get him out of power has failed. There are some characters who are known as Mistborn that possess magical abilities of some sort, and they are looking to take control back and get the Lord Ruler out of power. The plot to overthrow the Lord Ruler and get rid of the mist once and for all depends entirely upon an unlikely heroine and a criminal mastermind. This is another series that is a bit intimidating. Brandon Sanderson as an author is very intimidating to me. However, also one that I really want to get to. I've just really heard amazing things about his world building and this fantasy setting and the magic system. I think it's called Allomancy. I don't know, just seems really cool. This is also probably one of the shorter Brandon Sanderson books, which is saying something because it's like 640 pages, and what am I getting myself into? I think it's just time that I check Brandon Sanderson off the old TBR, and this seems like a good place to start. And finally, the number 1 series that I am just absolutely dying to read, The Diviners by Libba Bray. This takes place in 1920s New York City, and I've heard the setting is just magical and amazing. Evie O'Neill, our main character, moves to New York City to live with her uncle after she is ostracized from her own community, and he is obsessed with the occult. Evie herself possesses supernatural powers, and she is very nervous about living with her uncle and him discovering that she has these abilities. They've only brought her trouble so far. When her uncle is called to the scene of a crime, she realizes that her abilities could be used for good to stop a serial killer once and for all, but that would mean outing herself, essentially. I know very little about it beyond that, but it is super beloved on BookTube. I feel like everyone has read this and everyone loves it. I can't believe I haven't checked this off my list yet. I finally got my hands on it recently. I got this, again, at Independent Bookstore Day for like $8, which is such a deal. And again, very lengthy book. Close to 600 pages, but I feel like I'll fly through it. It just seems like one of those books that I won't be able to put down, and I am just super excited to read it. Alright, that is everything for this video. Those are my top 5 series that I hope to read in the near future, or at least start sometime soon. I added all the page numbers up, and it's 2,911 pages, so that's just the first books in each series. So it didn't take me a while, but that's okay. These are all series that I am super excited about. Thank you so much for watching. Let's continue the conversation. If you've read any of these and have thoughts or feelings, let me know in the comments below. But more importantly, if any of these are also on your TBR and you would like to buddy read them or have conversations about them as you go, let me know. I would absolutely love to do that. Leave a comment, or you can find the links to all of my social media accounts in the description box below. And of course, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel so you know when the next video comes out. But until then, happy reading. Bye.